And that was the conversation. I'm like, hey, we got to do something. She, you got to fail. She had her own demons, her own problems. And that's when I went into the bathroom. And I was like, my God, dude, like, this is a harsh reality. Your mom is like, you're done. And I'm like, you are on your own.
And the ASVAB was really the first real challenge where you tried to show up for something 100%.
Right. That was my first real challenge.
And what I love about the book is, there's the grand, huge challenges and accomplishments, but what I find most inspiring are just the small little things, like these little details, like when you've left that test and then you're in the car and then you go back in.
Yeah, so
it's like things like that really touched me.
That was actually trying to be a Navy SEAL.
That was a different test.
Right.
But, yeah.
So that was a very emotional moment for me, and I'm actually there right now in my head talking to you. I remember that moment like it was yesterday. I was a fat guy trying to be a Navy SEAL now, and my life had come to this crossroads where I'm like, man, you have to go right, and no one was going right. Everybody was going left. I'm like, you have to go right. And to know the pain and suffering I was about to endure by going right, the amount of accountability and failure I was going to witness and suffer by myself alone on this journey, it was daunting. So when I finally got to the ASVAB test, and I was taking it for my very last time to get into the SEAL teams or to try to even try out, they weren't supposed to tell me my score. And I went back out to my car after I took it. I was on some computer test, and I didn't know how to use computer. I was wigging out about that shit because the first time I took it was like some notebook. You open a Scantron sheet and you bubble it in with the number 2 pencil and shit. You turn it in. I saw a computer and I was like, oh fuck, what the shit? Oh my God! I'm like, it's on the computer, so I wigged out there, and I had to get a 50 on mechanical comprehension. And
this was like the third time you'd taken the test, right?
This is my second time. So I took it 3 times for the Air Force and twice for the Navy. So this is my second time for the Navy. And they're like, hey, this is it, man. You're done. You're too old. You have a limited amount of time to lose 106 pounds, and you have to take this ASVAB again. There's so many things that's crunching down my head. And so when I took the test, I knew I had a good enough score to get in the Navy, but to be a SEAL, I had to score high on mechanical comprehension, a 50. So the first time I got a 44 on mechanical comprehension. So I'm sitting there and I take the test and I hit send. Send meant it's out in outer space somewhere, but I knew it popped up at the administrator's desk. And he's not supposed to tell me shit. He tells you sit down, take your test, and you leave. I walked out, got in my car, or I was walking around the car, whatever. And I was like, I gotta go in and find out, man. So I went in, I literally sat there. Everybody's taking their test, and I'm begging this guy. And he's telling me, I can't tell you shit. It's against government, it's against rules, everything. Right. He opened it up and goes, okay, man. He said, you got a 65. I said, no, man, I didn't know I got a mechanical comprehension. And he scrolled the page down, and it was exactly a 50. And I literally, like, what came through my body, because it's easy to talk about it now to you, but no one knew the time and energy I put into getting that 50. Right. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah. I mean, what is that? What did that represent for you? Like the opportunity for a new life to finally get away?
It represented an opportunity for a new life, but the thing about it is, I'm trying to be a Navy SEAL. At this time, I was still 200 and some odd pounds. I still had more weight to lose. So think about this. I put everything on David Goggins to be a Navy SEAL. It's like going to the crap table with your last $1,000. And you say, you know what? I'm gonna put everything on this fucking, on black. And hopefully I'll win. If not, I'm broke. I put my whole life, a guy that was scared of the fucking water, a guy that could fucking taught himself how to read and write, on being one of the hardest motherfuckers on the planet. Think about that shit. A guy that came from nothing. I put my whole life, and I'm gonna go out here and put everything on David fucking Goggins to be a Navy SEAL. Not to go be a fucking, Boy Scout or some shit. A Navy SEAL. And I look at that, and I did all this shit just to get the opportunity to succeed.